Today is the session number day 14, and we are going to discuss the various topics. The first topic, what we are going to do over here, taking one example and converting into a procedural program. We will see what are the steps we can consider. However, this is a simple program, and generally whenever we come across a simple program, we can follow this technique. Generally, we need to go with the design pattern when there is a possibility that in future we have to extend our particular application to larger extent. Then we have to follow the design pattern which we have discussed, and I believe that you got fair idea about the design pattern. However, this comes with the regular practice. Your expertise will comes with a regular practice. So once your basics or fundamental is strong, then the regular practice makes you perfect. It's not a one-day learning, but it's a you know slow and steady learning path. Okay. And second example I will be taking for the generic function module. I will be discussing one example which I have come across in my implementation project, where this I will give you the glimpse of the generic FM complete function module, because that was a very complex function module and that took around 6 months to develop that generic function module. There are so many stuff where there, so all those things won't be possible, but I will give you a glimpse. I will give you an idea how it was and how we were able to achieve with the help of object oriented programming. So with this, let's go and start. But before going ahead, let's have a quick recap what we have done in our last class. In last class, we have seen about the facade design pattern. We understood what's the meaning of facade. Facade is nothing but front end. Just you are going to minimize the complexity of the backend implementation. So the phase through which you are going to interact, that should be simple. That's the meaning of a facade design pattern. So for example, we have seen the BAPI. All BAPI comes under the pattern of facade design pattern. In the object-oriented way, if we have to implement the facade design pattern, we generally create one class where all the logic, everything we implement. And if some another class, if we have to implement, we use inside this facade class. And this facade class we give to the end developer, and they start using this, and then this is our end developer caller. Okay. We have seen some couple of real-time example, and then I have given you one assignment also for you to complete, right? Then we have seen the template design pattern. This is what the template we follow in our real-time project. We will be having the interface. However, it is not mandatory, but of course, it's good to start with a, if something where you don't sure about that, how the implementation is going to be, right? And if you want to make something common, right, for like if you want to make something uniform throughout your application, which can be used by anyone. So in that case, generally we can start with the interface, then we can have the abstract class, and then the abstract class can be inheriting from the concrete class, right? So this is what the template design pattern we have seen. Fine, let's go and start with this first example. So this is what the first example I am having here. What I'm doing that, taking a file, converting into the internal table, putting the loop, and using the BAPI to create the material. I will directly show you in the first. Let me quickly take you through this code, what it is written over here. So here you can see that it's the internal table structure over here, and then here what you have, one a string structure, right? And here the parameters which will be taking the file. Here again some couple of data object declaration, that declaration that is nothing but variable, right? And again some variable. Then here we have at selection screen on value request. For this event we are using for the purpose of populating the pop-up, okay, so that we can select the file. And then and then we are having actual business logic is starting over here after the start of selection. Here we are extracting the data from the file and putting into the internal table. And then again, we are creating some another data object, some another data declaration, because this data we are going to pass to the BAPI in order to create the material. Here on each internal table record, we are putting the loop, splitting at the comma, because the data is coming into the CSV format kind of. I will show you how it is coming. And then in all these different component, it's getting populated, right? And here, this is how we do for the BAPI, right? As we all are from the above background, so I believe you are having the fair idea of the BAPI, and this is just how we are preparing the data, and we are creating here the basic view. Okay, just material we are creating, not extending or doing something like that. Okay, so now this particular program we have to convert into object-oriented way of programming. That means we have to use the classes and methods. If it is required, we will use the interface or abstract class. If it is not required, we will not use. However, this is very simple requirement. So for here, we are not going to use any interface or abstract class. But again, it depends on the scenario. Like if your program in future is going to be extend up to larger complex application, you may think, you will have to brainstorm, like you have to brainstorm with your team, with your architect, like how its design is going to be, and accordingly you can think of using of interface and all. So here also we can use interface, right? uh Abstract class is not required. I think it's a simple one, but let me show you first with the simple, and if it is required, we will go ahead and implement the interface as well. Is it okay for everyone? Just write till now if it is clear for everyone over here. Then I will just go and start writing the code. Yeah. So let me show you this one in debugger. And here, this is the file I'm having on the desktop. Okay. But before running it, I will just quickly put it the breakpoint over here after start of selection, and I will show you how it's working. And by with this way also we'll be able to test whether this particular program is working perfectly or not. Okay. So here is this CLGUI front-end services, right? The file, this is the file information. From this file, the data is there in the ASCII format. We are getting into this internal table. So simply I'm pressing F6, just click on this allow, so that it will read the file and put into this particular internal table, and the 4 records has come. So this is how the data is there in my desktop. So if I can show you the data in the desktop, let me quickly show you. Go to the desktop, and this is, see, so in the same way it's coming, right? So this is my material number, this is the industry sector, this is material type, and this is description, this is some another field. Again, if I can tell you what is those fields, basically from here we can see. Okay, material number, industry sector, material type, material description, and unit of measure. This is what we are having in this field. Okay, material number, industry sector, material type, then material description, and then we are having, I think, some another field also we are populating over here. But here you can see that in this sequence, though the uh, different fields over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Unit of measure, this is unit of measure. Okay, this is one extra field, this is one extra field, but it is not giving any problem or something like that. Why? Because here we are getting the data into the string format. So whatever the data we are uploading, all those data is coming into the string format, because the line type is of a string, right? That's why it's not creating any issue. Okay, but here, actually here itself, you give some comma separator and all, then what will happen, it will take only the 4 fields and it will put into those 4 fields. So if you have used GUI upload function module in order to extract the data from the file into the internal table, you would have seen. But here it's fine, though one field is extra, that's not a problem. Okay, or if you want, we can remove this field also. Okay, but it may require, it is, I think, material group. Okay, DUMMY over here is material group, I believe. So if it is required, we will just take it up. I will just add one field, uh, MATKL at the last, and we can get that particular field. Let's go if it is giving some problem. Okay, so come over here, and I'm putting the loop on this internal table, and you can see that here the 4 records we are having. So this is for the first material, this is for the second material, third and fourth, like that we are having. Okay, so first material we are going to create. So first record here, it's coming to the work area, and then we are splitting this into the different component of the work area so that it will populate. So this is the material, this is the industry sector, this is the material type, this is the material description, and this is the unit of measure. So that's fine, right? So just dummy data I have given it over there. And I want to create the view. So I'm just telling to the system, I want to create the view. So parameter accordingly populating over here, right? And this internal table is created because we have to pass that internal table over here, right? For material description. Then this is the mandatory parameter, whatever mandatory parameter we are having, base unit of measure, base UM. This is also the mandatory parameter, we are passing it, and we are telling to the system that we are passing base UOM and base UOM ISO. Okay, so, and other things is already populated over here, right? Now let's press F6 and see how it comes. See the WA return, we are getting some, okay, it's telling the error. So it's telling that please give material group, it is mandatory. Okay, so what we can do that, let's go and see. It looks like some exit is there. So how to find out the exit in the program? Anyone, do you know? Directly you can find out the exit by doing the, just press F5, go into the uh, BAPI, inside the BAPI, enable the layer aware debugger, put Y star. This layer aware debugger is very powerful. Okay, so complete video on the debugging I have prepared and put on my YouTube. You can go and learn. Okay, directly. Pankaj Kumar SAP Tech Learn, my channel name, and from there you can just simply debugger advanced technique. You can search and learn from scratch to advanced. Okay. So here click on this OK button, and now you have to just click on this next object set. Once you click on this, it will take you the G. You can see that directly it is taking me to the custom enhancement, right? Just want to see somewhere. Yeah, you can see that here it's a material group is chemical or SPIT, fine. So this is not the one. Let's see. Okay, next object, next object. So if some custom implementation will be there, we will come to know. So here you can see that please give the material group, it is mandatory. Okay, it's telling that please give material group, it is mandatory. So somewhere basically it is written this particular, a statement. We have to identify, or we have to just give it from there, right? Let me give one more try and I will show you. Come here, press F8. It has come here, and activate layer aware debugger and just try to find out. So it's coming over here. So in Y or Z package, that is not there, right? You can see that I have activated this layer aware debugger for Y or Z package. It looks like, because this is a demo system, right? So it can be there in the local package as well. So let me give the $TMP and I will give a try. Okay, generally in your real-time scenario, in the real-time project, you will be able to see inside the Y or Z package. This is where we do the custom development, right? So just let me go and check quickly. I will comment that one, or we'll have to pass the data, that material group, right? So come here, press F8, and now activate the layer aware, press F5, and let's see. Yeah, here you can see that here it is there. It is in TMP package, in the local package it is there. That's why earlier it was not coming. And this is what it's a check is there. So either we'll have to comment this one. Let me go and comment this part of code, or else we'll have to pass the material group. Any one of the things we'll have to do. So I got it now and press F8. Just to go back once again, I'm going to run it and come here, press F8, and let's see here, press F6, and WA returns. I'm expecting to be successful. This time you can see that it is successful now. Your material got created. The material AFF29 has been created or extended, right? So this program is not working fine. The same program we want to convert into the object-oriented way of programming. So let's do the brainstorm together and try to find out what can be the class. See, all this material have been extended now or created. Okay. So Sandeep, which portion you want me to show again? A layer aware debugger that I have explained in very much detail over there. You will get very fair idea. Some another advanced concept also you will come to know if you just go and watch out the complete video. Some 3 videos will be there, 2 or 3 videos. Please go through that. Here, what do you want me to explain? If you can be little less specific, I will explain. Okay. Or at the end of the session, just remind me. I will explain it over there. Is it okay? Fine. So now here, this is what we have the program. Okay, so first of all, what actually we have to do, we have to identify the functionality. See, whenever we have to go to the object oriented way of doing the programming, the first step what we have to do, identify the functionality, right? Because you have to create the class and methods. We are starting from very basics. Let's be first strong in the basics, right? And then we will go into the advanced concept. Okay, so whenever you have to do any coding in the object-oriented way of doing the programming, you have to identify the functionality. That means you have to identify first for the methods. Okay, you don't have to identify for the attributes first. You have to first identify the behavior. So what's the behavior over here? If you can see that first behavior is here, that file open dialog should be there, right? This is the first behavior. That means this you have to incorporate in a method. What's the second behavior? That was the first behavior. What is the second behavior? If you can see, this is the second behavior. So in the second behavior, in the second behavior, let me draw it. This one. Here, what we are doing, we are uploading the file and extracting the data into the internal table using this utility class, right? Using this utility class, CLGUI front-end services. Then what's the another behavior? What's the another behavior? So another behavior is just come over here. This is what you have the another behavior, another method. We are putting the loop on internal table and getting one by one. We are splitting it over here. So this split is one. So see, it depends like how minute, minute level do you want to go, right? So the more you are going to be at minute level, you are going to follow the object oriented. There is a, uh, there is a principle called, that's principle name is whatever minute behavior, that is the single, just I'm missing the name, single service SIP, something like that, single responsibility principle. This is one concept in object oriented programming, single responsibility principle. What this is telling, that whatever you have the behavior, incorporate that into either a minute method or in a class level. So this principle basically tells that whatever behavior you have, you just incorporate into a class level. Create a class, you know. So if you have to create 10 simple classes, just go and create. If you follow this particular uh, guideline, single responsibility principle, it is known as. Okay, but here let's go and see what we can do. So what we identified that this is also one place where we can, like, this is also one functionality of a splitting, right? And here we are populating the data, right? And here we are just creating the material. So this is the basic view what we are creating over here. For each material we are having the basic view, the main view which we are creating, and after this we can extend to another view as well, right? So we have to brainstorm over here together, and then we will, and here you have the message handling functionality, right? At the last we are having the message handling functionality. So what you are getting the idea over here, right? If you see that over here, you are having the two methods related with file handling. One is the file open dialog and another is the file upload, right? So one method, two methods is related with file handling, and then after that you are having all these methods with the all this functionality related with the material creation, right? So at the two broad level, if you see, right, then you can see that one is the file handling. That means one class we can create for, you know, ZCL underscore file. Again, now you can create the local class, global class. It all depends on you how you want to do, right? Global class, if you are going to create, let's suppose tomorrow if you want to use the same class in the different program, you will be able to do so. But if the local will be there, you will be able to use inside that program only, right? So one class will be creating ZCL underscore file, and another class we can create what? ZCL underscore material, where all the material related functionality we can put it together, right? So here, at least if you are going for creating, if you're going to convert this particular program in the object oriented way of doing the programming, at least these two things, initially need to be taken care, right? In the first glimpse, what we are able to find it. So what we'll be doing that, we will be creating the two classes ZCL underscore file. Here, file open dialog. One method is this one, and another method is, data upload, right? And data upload. And both the method, we are going to make it what? We are going to make both the method as a public method, and better to make it a static, right? Because this is something like a utility class which we can use in another places also, right? So it's better to mark this as a utility class, so that everywhere we can use, we don't have to bother, right? So generally utility class method is going to be like a static method only. Okay, so that from the class name itself you will be able to access, no need of creating the instances, right? Another class, we can create the material, but before creating this material class, can you please confirm, like, if it is okay for you the way we are approaching? If you have any some input, or if you want to add something extra, or if this is fine the way I'm doing it over here, if it's okay, just type okay, and I will just go ahead and I will show you the methods for ZCL material. Thanks for your confirmation, and now let's go for the material. So in material, what we are doing over there, splitting the record, right, and getting into the variable, correct? So split, uh, like uh, a split record, let's suppose. See, again, like it is not mandatory, like whatever I'm doing in the same way you have to do. No, your way can be better than my way. Okay, or your way can be different than my way. Okay, so what I'm thinking, that one by one record which I'm passing it over there, like putting the loop. So instead of writing this particular statement myself, here, this is split statement I want to write inside the method. This is what I'm thinking, and in that way I'm creating one method to split the record. So split record, and then over here, what we are doing, basic view, right? So create one method for material creation, create material. So always method need to be start with the verb. Always method name start to be, this is the standard way. So a split record, create material. Okay, create material, like that your method name should be. You should not give like a material create. This is not the good practice. Okay, if you give material create, this is not the good practice. Okay, so we are supposed to write create material. This is the standard practice. Create material, verb should come first, and then after, the noun should come. Okay, so create material, right? So two methods we identified over here as of now, and if it requires more, we will just go and do this. But the initial design is like this. There is no inheritance, nothing, just two simple class, right? And we are fine to go with. So now just let me close this window and going to create one method. So local or global, it again depends on your choice. I'm just going to create the global class so that I can use that in my another program as well if it required. Okay, so ZCL file, just simply file. Okay, click on this create, and here file handling stuff I'm going to do. Click on this save button and click on this and click on this. Okay, so in the file handling, what we have to do, if you see over here, that the first one is the uh, open dialog, right? File open dialog. So open dialog, and here we can make it the static and public, right? In the open dialog, in the file open dialog, see here the Windows title, right? So this Windows title, it's better to pass from outside. So I will be taking one export parameter, right? So here exporting parameter, that means there we have to take the import parameter, right? And file table, that means the data which is going to come from there, that we have to put, and then the gv underscore rc, right? So the exporting and changing, correct? So they are importing and changing the two parameter. Let's go and define, come over here and importing, and sorry, parameter name will have to give. So let's see, Windows title. So simply I will give in the title, and here it's the importing, and then the associated type, we can see what's the associated type. Double click over here, and it's the string, right? So come over here and give the string. That's it. Just to go back, then you have the changing parameter. So come over here and changing, and sorry, changing name we have to give. So what is the GT file table? Here this changing parameter, instead of giving this GT, this over there, this changing I'm not going to mention. I'm directly going to get this file name. All right, I don't require this basically changing one. Okay, because there is no parameter which we have to pass it from here. All this functionality I want to put together in the method. Okay, so just simply put over here the file detail or file name, something like that. And here, let's have the returning parameter so that the coding will be easy, right? If you have the returning parameter directly, you can call the method and get the value inside the variable. I will show you. Okay. So that's the benefit of returning parameter. Only the thing with the returning parameter that more than one returning parameter you will not be having in your method. More than one exporting parameter you can have, but returning parameter only will be only one. Okay. And the file detail, then the file detail what we are getting over here, p underscore file. If you see, this is of type string again, so that's fine. Let's put it the string string. Just save it and click on the source code, so that we'll go inside the method and we will write the code. Come here, come here, come here, and just copy all this code. Copy this code from here and just paste it. Pretty printer. So you can see that class method, this is fine. Standard class we are calling Windows title. This title we will be passing now. Control V. And the file table, this gt underscore file table, gv underscore rc, this will have to define it over here, right? Gv underscore rc. So let me just copy. So see here locally I'm defining. If you want, you can define globally also in the attribute section, right? So if you want me to define at attribute section this particular internal table and gv underscore rc, how we can do? Just go here, go to the attribute, and you have to define gt file table and gv underscore rc. So give this gt underscore file table, and but before that you have to create the structure, right? Then only we'll be able to define this gt file. Let's see how it is actually. Gt file table is this one. This is the standard one, so already it's there, so nothing to worry, right? This is the type, and gv underscore rc is simply size server. So it's a simple, nothing more complex, right? So gt file table, and come over here, give the label this one as static, because static method we are creating, so static attribute should be there, right? And then the public, and type, just give the type gt file table over here, file table, right? Hope you are able to understand, right? So file table, gt file table, and then what we are having, another one is gv underscore rc. So copy this one, and a static. Why I'm creating a static? Because my method is a static. If I use instance, it will not allow. And this is size sub rc. Size sub rc. This is the data element. Okay. So if you see the same data element, what it is there, I'm using over there. So because this is already a standard one predefined, so nothing to worry, just I'm simply using that one. So inside the method again we can go, and this part we have declared read table, this is fine. And this file underscore detail, I can put it over here, file underscore detail, right? So that I can get it. Generally for returning parameter, what we do, the naming convention, instead of simply writing this title and file detail, better to give like this. Okay, let me go to the methods and parameters. So this is the importing parameter. You can put like im underscore title. Okay, and for returning you can give r underscore file detail. So you know, this is good naming convention basically. So I have corrected following the good naming convention, and come over here, im underscore title I will put, so that so anyone can identify, okay, this is the importing parameter, right? And here anyone can identify, okay, this is the returning parameter. So now it looks good for me. Check the syntax over here. Some error is there, gwf file table. This is a work area. This also will have to define. Come and let's go and define this work area globally. I'm just going to define it inside the attribute. So GWA file table, and now just give this as a also a static attribute, give the public, and you have to identify the structure name. So just simply file table over here, file underscore table is the structure, copy this, paste it over here, press enter, and now check the syntax. So looks good now. And now go to the methods and click on this source code, right? Check once again and looks good. So this particular open dialog is now done. And accordingly, what I will do that I will modify the code also. So let's go and go into the change mode. I will comment this part of code, and instead of this, what I will write, see p underscore file we are having, right? So inside this, we are actually using p underscore file. Okay. So I will use p underscore file. Can you tell me what I'm going to write it? Simply we'll have to call this particular method of this class, right? So just copy this one and open dialog. So you are just going to call this particular method basically, and it's going to return you the value. Okay. In importing parameter, what you will be passing, this is title. So select a file, put the full stop, check the syntax, no problem, activate this one, and now just run this. Let us see whether it's working fine or not, right? It should work fine also, right? So you can see that it's working fine. There is no problem as of now. So come to this desktop and that click on this open, right? So see, under the p underscore file, you got the complete data, right? It's returning nicely over there. So see, this is the beauty of returning parameter. So it gave you the pop-up also, and after whatever the data it's returning, you are able to put into this p underscore file. So all this code you are able to optimize in a single record, single line. These things you will not be able to achieve through the function module. Function module, there is no provision of using like this equal symbol in left hand side the variable, right? This is possible in the methods. Even the beauty of returning parameter is that p underscore file type string you have created, right? If you want, you can comment over here and you can use the data keyword, right? So inline declaration you can use with the returning parameter directly over here, or with exporting parameter. For method exporting parameter or returning parameter, you can use the inline declaration. But if you use the exporting parameter, this way it will not work. Okay, you have to write call method exporting importing like that. Okay, if you want to put the variable left side to the equal, it will create the problem in the exporting parameter. Okay, here it's the returning, so it will not create any problem, right? So what's giving the problem? Because already here we are using this particular variable, so it's not able to identify. That's the problem. So for that purpose, of course, we'll have to first define it over here. But if there is no dependency of this particular statement directly, we can use this. Okay, but in this scenario, it's mandatory to declare this p underscore file. So let me uncomment this, and you got the idea what actually I'm trying to tell, right? Activate this one, and we got it activated. Are you trailing anything, something else in that way? Better to learn more about it. Yes, event at selection require parameter. Event at selection. I'm not able to understand, Oscar. Type in line 25. Type in line 25. 25. Yeah, we can comment this one. Now it is not required. Basically, if we see that, we can check out the where used, right? It is not there. So we can comment this. And if you want, let's see, this is also not required. Okay, we can comment. So whichever is not required, we can just give a at selection screen requires a parameter. Yeah, yes, we have this parameter p underscore file. It depends on what events you are using. If you are going to use simply at selection screen, no parameter is required. If you are going to use at selection screen on value request for right some particular field, if you want to mention, then you have to give this particular parameter. Depends on what events you are using. Okay, so these two is not required. IT tab and IT data, it is required over here as of now at least. Okay, now fine, let's go and optimize. Let's go and replace this method with our stuff. Okay, so here what we have, CLGUI front-end services, right? Just analyze this code and we have to copy this, simply come here, and it was the extract file, static and public, and double click over here. Let's see, I think parameter we have to pass it, right? File name, this file type, right? This we have to pass, and then the changing. Instead of changing, I'm going to use the returning, right? Because my requirement is simple, so why not to keep simple and more readable? So two importing parameter, one is the file name and file type. One is file name and another is the file type, right? I'm underscore file name and importing, then the type, associated type, we'll have to check. Another is the file type importing parameter, and let's go and check its type. Double click over here. So file name is of type string and file type is of character. Okay, so one is a string and another is the character. A string and then the character. Just save it, check this one and activate this. Now we'll just go and write the code. Click on the source code and control V. This is the method which I'm using it over here. Arm underscore file name, we'll have to pass it over there, and file type we are going to pass it over here, and it underscore tab, this we have to define, right? It underscore tab ty, so this is what the types you are having, right? Just I'm going to copy. Ty underscore data is the type name, right? Just go back. So here also you can define the type, there is no problem, but generally we define the type constant and data, like if data, if we're going to use throughout the program, better to define at the global level. But generally the good practice, like if you are defining some constant or type, define globally. Okay, so I'm defining this type globally, and the type name is just giving ty underscore data. Okay, and click on this button, click on this yes, and paste the code which I have copied from there. Types begin of ty, end of data. Let's check the syntax. There is no problem. Activate this one. So our type is now declared globally. See, our type is, but it's private. Let me, private is also fine. If you want to use this type in another program or in another places, then can make it public. So generally, let me put it public. Okay, so that I can use elsewhere also. Another is the tt underscore data. So this is a structure I have defined. Another, I have to define the what? Table type. So come over here and we'll simply define the table type over here. This is the private section. I want to make it public. So just simply here, from here also directly you can change. Okay, automatically there it will be changed. Types and type table of TS ty underscore data. This is what we have just declared, right? So already public section, I think it is there. So it will give you the error, that y2 public section you are defining, right? See here. So let it be like that, how it was coming automatically, so that we will not get this error, and I will go and change from there. Okay, so no error, and activate this. So all together it is asking for to the type ty data is number, there is a type similar to the data. Okay, private section tt. Let's see what we have defined it. It's a ty data, right? And it's the tt data. So tt data type table of ty data we have to write, make it public, and let's give one more try. So tt data type table of ty data, and ty data is here, right? So this is actually telling, that make it later. So first this should be defined, then this should be defined. All right, pretty printer, check the syntax. Now it's fine. Activate this one. Now automatically sequence will be ty data and tt data. This is fine. Now activate this, activate this. So you can see that basic ABAP is required, right? Let's check the syntax. It underscore tab is unknown. Let's see where it underscore tab we are using. Here it's telling it underscore tab, right? So we have to define this one. If you want to define this globally, just go and copy this and come here, and we can define it globally. So whenever we define globally, generally we put the gt underscore tab. And here again going to clear the static attribute public, because in static I'm going to use, and this is going to be your tt underscore data. This is what I have just declared, right? tt underscore data, because that is my internal table. So I have to define this internal table. Press enter, check the syntax, click on this yes button. You will get the error because the name is now different. I have given it extract file. Come over here and give the gt underscore tab, right? Check this, and now it should be fine. Is it clear? Did you understand what I did? Basically, I just created the two types under the types section, right? And with reference to that, I have just created this attribute. That's it. This much only I have done. Okay. Thank you for confirmation. If any time you find me to repeat, simply you type, repeat. Okay. And I will just repeat. Nothing to worry. Or you can simply go through the video. If you feel like, you didn't understand, you can go many times through this video. Okay. So come here and let me activate this one, activate this. Go back and activate. So come to this program, and now in this program, what we are doing, we are getting the data in it underscore tab, right? It underscore tab you are getting. So extract file, go to the parameter, and in the parameter, one returning parameter I will simply do. Okay. So r underscore data returning parameter, and this will be tt underscore data. So internal table I'm returning whichever the file coming over here. So r underscore data, go to the source code and see here. Now directly you can put this returning file over here also. That's fine. There is no problem, right? So in that case, you can remove the global variable which we have declared, right? Because directly I'm using this r underscore data, there is no need of. So we can go and delete that one. But I'm not going to delete that. Here it can be fully typed, must be fully typed. Okay, here's some technical issue. Let's see what it's telling. Public section or returning parameter must be fully typed. Okay, so what it's telling actually, a returning parameter must be fully typed. So what's the meaning of this? You have to go inside this and go to this, and the tt data which you have created, just you add with default key. Okay, just simply you add this default key. That's it. It will be fully typed. Okay, I have explained this one in one of my video about the new syntaxes. Whenever you use a new syntax for the value operator or reduce operator, they will also ask you to give the uh, fully typed. So what's the meaning of that? You can go and check in more detail. As of now, you just understand that this particular table type I'm using for the returning parameter, and returning parameter is not supported without fully typed. So either fully typed means explicitly you have to mention the key behavior. That's it. So either you write with default key or with a standard key or with key, give the key name, right? So anything, you have to just make it fully typed. So now just go back, and now it should not give that error, the one which is giving currently. Check the syntax now, and you can see that the error is now gone, right? Because now it's the fully typed. Activate this one and just go back, and now we will again change this code over here, commenting this one, and we have here IT_tab we are using in this program, right? So let's use the same name. IT_tab equals to ZCL_file, and the static method what we are having over here, extract, right? I think that made a private, that's why it's not coming. Extract file, no, it's the public only, right? ZCL_file, but still when I'm giving the control space, that is not coming. You can see that ZCL_file and control space I'm giving, extract should come basically. Even it is not coming, there is no problem. Sometimes that does not work. Directly you can copy from here and paste it over here, and the returning parameter, right? You have the importing also. Let's see what's the importing parameter. Two importing parameter, right? I am file name and I am file type. So here exporting I am file name equals to p_file, and file type equals to AC. So whatever we are passing, just simply I'm putting it over here. Let's see, check the syntax. Okay, some error is there. I am file name, okay, underscore is actually this one, and I am file type. Let's see now. Okay, it's the file type and I am file type. So just I have corrected this, and now it should be fine. The result type of the function method cannot be converted into the type tt_tab type of it_tab. Why? This is the returning parameter, right? r_data is my returning. Extract_file we are using. Extract_file we are using. We are just exporting this one, and the resulting is the it_tab. This is of tt_data, and it_type we see type table of ty_tab. And ty, okay, you can see that that's the problem basically, right? Type mismatch. So that is fine. See, this is the robustness of object oriented programming. This particular feature you will not get in the function module. At the design time itself, it's giving me the error, and I got what's the problem basically, right? So the problem is this. I was supposed to declare this one instead of this, so I have to go and correct. Okay, so simply I will copy this. I'll copy this one and come here, go to the types, and come here and here, control V. Okay, that's it. This much only required, other thing is fine. Okay, ty_data. So tab we are using over here. Let me make this ty_data. Now it looks good. Check the syntax, activate this one, activate, just go back here also. Let's activate, it got activated. And now here also it will not give any error. Okay, now it looks good for me. Pretty printer. Check the syntax now, and there is no problem, right? So directly you got the internal table record over here, right? Now the main part is going to come into picture. Okay, what basically we are trying to do, that we are trying to create the basic view over here, right? We are trying to create the basic view over here. But before going ahead, let's I will test this. Okay, so let me test first, and we'll see that where the data is coming properly in this IT underscore tab or not. Press F8, press F8. So in IT underscore tab, 4 records is coming properly, right? So that's fine. It's working fine, right? This particular method is working fine. So just I will come out, just go back. And now we have to implement this code, all these codes we have to implement. How you are going to do this? This is important, right? Here, many people can have their own different approach. I will keep it simple. You first understand, and then accordingly, whatever the concept you have learned or design pattern, try implementing in the complex example or complex requirement if comes. So here, let's keep it simple, and I'm going to create another class called ZCL underscore material. So go to AC24 once again, /n AC24 and ZCL underscore material. Okay, so already it's there. OO ABAP demo. This is, oh, it was 14th, right? I'm creating this class ZO ABAP demo 14 material. Click on this create and material handling. Save it, save it, save it. So here, see, I will write create material. One method I'm just going to define. So instance will be fine. Okay. Or what do you want? You want to make it a static or create? This is, if you want to treat this as a, utility class, right? If you want to use this as a utility class, you can create this method as a static. So it all depends now, like how you want to do. Okay. So I'm just making it as an instance. Let it be like instance, and then the public, and here create. So you don't have to go much into analysis paralysis also, whatever you think, like, generally a static method we use for the utility class. So if you think that you are going to use it as a utility, you can go for a static, or by default we use the instance method. Just remember, a standard practice to use as a method as an instance method, attribute as an instance attribute. This is a general practice what you have. For method we use the public as a visibility. For attribute we use the private as a visibility. General, this is what the general people follow. Okay. Now create material, just come over here and click on this yes button, and what we will do that we'll copy the entire code and I will put it over here, and we will see if we can do something else. So just I'm going to copy this whole stuff, paste it over here. Okay. And now we have to modularize so that our code will be more readable, more maintainable. At least this particular criteria we are going to take care. right? So this is the data declaration. Again, it's your choice how you want to do this declaration. You can make at the global level, so you can do that if you want. I will keep it over here, local declaration itself. All right, so this is fine, this is fine. See, this is the internal table, right? This will have to take as an import parameter, right? So what I want to do, this is the internal table, right? So internal table, we are splitting it over here. Okay, so this split stuff I will put into a method. Okay, this splitting part I will put into a method. So just copy this, comment this one, and IT underscore tab also. This you can see that this is the variable which you have to get as an import parameter from outside, right? From the program. So just go back and let me first create one method, split record, split record at a comma. I'm just going to be more specific, and split record. Double click, come over here, Control V. So a splitting part, I'm just doing it. Come here, go to this parameter, define the parameter from where you will have to get that very value. So arm underscore data, and now the importing parameter, typing method, that is fine. And this data, again, you will have to define one table type, or so either you will have to define the global table or using these types, right? You'll have to define. So first we have to define these types. So as of now, just simply I'm going to give something so that I will come out from that error, and come here and define. We have to define this one. I've deleted earlier, right? So I have to define, there is no other way. Copy this and dy data. Yeah, it is fine. Come here and under the type section, tt underscore. Okay, so that actually we have defined the jetcl underscore file, so not problem. Here we are again defining our own. Okay, so ty underscore data for the structure, public, and type is fine, associated type. Click on this button and come here, just paste it. Okay, so types, we have pasted it over here, save it, and one more type for table type we have to define, right? So simply I will put it types tt underscore data type table of ty underscore data. That's it. And tt underscore data automatically now it will start appearing under the type section. Okay, see, automatically it has started appearing. So ty data and tt underscore data we have declared. Just go back and go into the method and parameter. This is now you correct. So this is what you are getting, IAM underscore data. So from the program you will get this data, and now IAM underscore data you are going to put into wherever you have the IT underscore tab, you are going to replace with IAM underscore data. So come here and replace with IAM underscore data. So always, instead of replacing all, it's good practice to first find and replace one by one. Okay, so I'm just finding, and only one place it's there, right? So it's good, there is no problem then. Just save it and it's fine now. So IT underscore IAM underscore data part is done. This W underscore tab you will have to define, right? Or else what I will do, I will use the power of inline declaration, right? So just I have used the inline declaration. And another thing already is there. Let's try to check the syntax over here. It's telling IT underscore tab is unknown. It's IAM underscore data. Okay. It's IAM underscore data. So check it once again. And it looks fine now. But here, one problem. What is the problem? One thing is that you can see the data declaration, we are doing it over here, right? All this data preparation, all this, it's not modularized, right? It is not modularized. So we have to, because we are experienced developer, our code should be more readable. It looks like little clumsy, right? So for that purpose, better you define all these things at the global level. That will be fine, as per my suggestion. Again, every developer is having their own choice, depends on the different criteria. Like see, global, the problem with the global will what happen, it will consume more memory in the sense unnecessarily it will be consuming the memory, but readability will be improved, or accessibility will be also improved. If something is global, you can access from anywhere, right? But again, like you have to think in many different perspective, but you don't have to think more also. If you want to use the object oriented, start using object oriented. Gradually you will be having the command over this, and you will be becoming perfect. Okay, you will be going towards the perfection. Okay, no one is perfect. We will be moving towards perfection. So this is what the thing. So here, what actually I'm trying to do, this part basically. So see, this is what here it's the global one, right? So local one. So if you are going to modularize, you will face the challenges again, importing, exporting, in that case, why not to have this as a what global variable? So I'm just going to put this one, it will not take more time, just 2 minutes. Just I'm going to copy this, I'll put into a notepad, control V. I'll take help of this notepad and I will define this one. So I'm going to comment this one. Go back, go to the attributes, open this one, and head underscore data. Copy this head underscore data. Label here, you can make it instance, that's fine. And visibility, make it as a public or private. Maybe you can have the private over here, following the best practices. Associated type here, BAPI made head, control V, press enter. So it's the standard data types, there will be no any issue. Another, the IT material description, just put it over here. Again, you can follow the better naming convention, GT and all you can follow, right? I'm simply showing you quickly over here. Instance and the private, and then here the BAPI MAKT. Then what else? WA. Copy this, paste it, instance, private, and then the BAPI MAKT. So material description, this is the work area. Let's see. This is a type table of, right? So you have to give the table type over here basically. So you have to identify the table type for that internal table. So let's go and check what's the table type. Come here, and material description, right? Double click on this BAPI and go here and search for the material description. This is the structure. It is there inside the table section, right? So this is the work area only. Let's see if we can get some table type. So where used, just I'm performing the where used for this BAPI underscore MAKT and search inside the table types. So clicked on the where used list. It's taking some time. Let's wait. It's taking more. Yeah, now it has come. And remove this. Just we have to check for the table types, right? I just want to see if that is getting used in some table type. So I got it, right? Table type of BAPI underscore MAKT. So I will use this TT underscore BAPI underscore MAKT. Come here and directly we will be using this. Press enter, just save it and check the syntax. Okay, there are so many others also we'll have to define, right? So let me do that. W underscore base unit and other what it is, this is base unit X. So here instance attribute private. Private means inside this class only will be able to use, otherwise outside of this class you will not be able to use. BAPI Mara X, press enter, and now it's fine. So those variable we are done now, and come here once again, click on this yes button, and another variable, anything else we have to define. Okay, so the important data and all we are done, right? W underscore tab here, this is fine. Base unit. Okay, this also now you can comment. Check the syntax now. Check the syntax. WA return, it's telling unknown. WA return also will have to define. Just to go back, WA return, control V, and instance private BAPI read 2, right? For a structure, BAPI read 2 underscore T for table type. So because this is a structure, I have just defined that. W type string is unknown. Let's see. Yeah, that is fine. WA underscore tab hyphen string. So one another import parameter, right? Or better, what we can do that, we can define one. Okay, so we have to define actually why. Let me comment this and I will show you what actually I'm trying to tell you. Check the syntax now, and you can see that now everything is fine. But we have to do the split. We have to do the split stuff, right? So if you activate, let us see, activate first. Got activated properly, there is no problem, but it will not work at this moment, right? Why? Because this is split stuff, right? All this data we have to get it, right? And we have to put it. So this split stuff, what I want to do, head data, right? WA material description and WA base unit. So head data have we created in the global head data. It's there, right? It's there in the head data, so nothing to worry. Head data we are having, and come here once again. So this split WA material description, this is fine. Just we have to get this W underscore tab. And this W underscore tab is having, so I underscore tab, if you see, tt underscore data, and tt underscore data is ty underscore data, basically. Okay. So tt underscore data, this we are, so two structure we required. One is the importing data. So when we are importing this one, we're importing into the stream format, right? If you see, when we are importing the data, how the data over here in im underscore data is, right? It will be there in the string format only, right? Let's go and see into the main program. Come to the main program. Come here, come here. This is the main program, right? So your data in IT underscore tab, how it's going to come? This is going to come in a string format, right? So this string format data, we have to pass it over there. Okay. So importing parameters should be of a string type, not like this. No, this is not the correct one. We have to correct. This is not the correct one. We require the one which we have created at the file level slash so sc24. Just go and I will show you how you can use this ZCL underscore file, and here inside these types we have declared this, right? ty underscore data of type this basically we have to use it, right? So you can use, you can see that this is a public one, so we can use it. So copy this one ZCL underscore file and go to the method, and inside the create material go to the parameters and give that particular class name, and what it is, this is your internal table, right? So you require the table type because internal table is there. So how you can access, like this you can access, press enter, and this is how you can access. Just save it, check the syntax first, check it, there is no problem. So this is directly you can access their table type. You don't have to define your own table type, right? So just come here and create now it looks good. Okay, now im underscore data is good, and this im underscore data you are going to pass to the split method, right? This is split record at the comma. So here if you want, here you can approach different approach also, you know. Importing parameter we are getting, so one by one record either we'll have to pass to that uh, you know, w underscore tab. So what actually I'm trying to tell you, go to this now it's not required, just go to the ZCL underscore material where we have, let me close some of the, it's not required. Yeah, now come here. So come here and go here, go to the parameter im underscore record, just to get that record which you want to split. Importing parameter, and here the associated type. So in associated type, this should be a single record, right? So ZCL underscore file, just give it, and for single record ty data structure, just I have to get it, right? And once you get that im underscore record, you just split this one. Okay, so this you just split, comment this one, comment and comment this. So a data will be now properly populated. Another method, what you can do, check the syntax first, looks good. Come here, this portion. So this portion I have done a splitting part. So what I will do instead of this, I'll just copy. I will just use that method. How you can use this method? Copy this method, and see, calling the method is also a different syntax as there. So call method you can use, or simply you can use like this, and you can pass the exporting parameter. This is what you have, the exporting parameter wa tab, simply you pass it over here. No need of mentioning exporting and all. Okay. If you want to use call method, then you have to mention exporting. So different syntax, different. This is also fine. We check the syntax, it should be fine. Okay. There is no problem, right? So we're just passing this to there in this particular method, and this stuff also. So here I'm creating one more method, populate basic detail. This is the method I'm just creating. Double click over here, it will ask that this method does not create class method, this does not create. Do you want to create? Yes, I want to create this. And here populate basic detail, and let it be public, and instance is fine for me, and I think it's good. What's the meaning of model? If you put model, you will not be able to do the implementation. That is just for designing purpose. Okay. Means you will not be able to use that particular method at that time. That's the meaning of just for modeling you are doing. You can check once. See, populate basic underscore detail. Populate basic detail. This is the method I have created, and inside this method, what I will do that I will simply, we are just going to modularize. And now the benefit of this, what I will get, because already I have created everything as a global level, though it will consume little memory. It again depends project to project. Some people will be very specific. They will tell you that you don't have to create at all attribute at a global level. For constant and types, there is no problem. That is a standard documentation that it will be at global level only, types and constant every time you are supposed to do, no matter how much memory it is going to consume, right? So depends project to project, but here in this scenario, this is good. What we can realize that it's going to make more sense to to define at the global level, right? All these are already defined. We are just populating it underscore everything, right? So it is in sync, right? It is in sync. Check the syntax now, and it looks good. BAPI material save data, create material. I think this is fine. Okay. If tomorrow, if you want to create one more BAPI handling, one more method, handle BAPI, you can go and create that. Okay. Handle BAPI, you can go and create, and then handle message. So if you want me to create, I will create it quickly. Handle BAPI. So just what I have to do, I have to copy this one, comment this, click on this yes button, and public. This is fine. Handle BAPI. Click on this create. Double click. Yes. Control V. And then handle message. So here, handle message. Handle message. So by this way, your code will look, more clean and more readable. And tomorrow, if you want to enhance some functionality at the BAPI level or message level, you can just go and enhance it, right? So it looks good for me. Now let's go and check the syntax, right? Here we are using into data inline declaration, so it will create the issue. W underscore tab will have to create at the global level, because many places W underscore tab is there, right? And that may create the problem. W underscore tab, W underscore tab. Are we using it over here? Here. So it looks like there will not be any problem. Let's go and check the syntax. It's fine. right? Check the syntax. Awesome. And activate this one. Let's see how this program is working now. So go to the program. And go to the program once again. /n SE38, that is closed basically. Let me open once again SE38 and okay. So this is now not required. After this, after this, after this, after this, after this is not required. What we have to do? We have to create the object of, so data geo underscore material equals to new ZCL underscore, what the name of this, copy this one, control V, full stop, and geo underscore material is going to have the create material method, create material, and just you have to pass this IT underscore tab. Check this, activate this one, activate this. I will run it end to end, and first I will see if it is going to give me any problem or something like that. If any problem, I will correct, and then I will just, you can see it's working fine, right? So I will show you the flow in the program, okay, how it's working. Come here, go back here and put the breakpoint. Run this one, run this and come here, okay? It didn't trigger the breakpoint. Why? Why it didn't trigger? Okay, I put at the wrong place. Remove this and come here, press F8. So already now the file is selected, and now press F5. So what it will do, it will take you to this particular method. Press F5. You are coming over here. It's going to upload, right? Going to upload. So it's now uploading. Let's see. Is there any pop-up or something? No, it looks good. So actually by mistake, I went into the F5 and it went into the system program. That's why it's creating the, so just I'm pressing F7, F7, F7 and coming back. Okay. And I have come back. So it has uploaded and we return back the data IT underscore tab, the 4 records, how we have put it over here. And now it looks good. Now come over here. We are going to create the material, right? So you got extracted your data into your internal table, right? Here you got your data into the file. Here you got the file name. Once you got the file name, then you got extracted your data into the internal table. Now the internal table data you are passing to the material over here, because you have to create the material, right? So we are creating the object and we are passing to the material, and here IAM underscore data is not initial. Yes, we are putting the loop and we are creating. So it's going to split it. When it's going to split, we are splitting into this, right? And again coming back, populate basic detail. So basic detail you are populating. See, tomorrow if you want to put some more basic detail over here, right? These are the mandatory details just we are pushing. There are so many fields in the there are so many fields in the Mara basic view. So you can go and populate all those fields over here, and your code will still look neat and clean and more readable. You will automatically understand, okay, all the basic detail is here, and you will go and check it over there. So that's the beauty of modularization. Modularization improves your readability, right? F5 and the BAPI material save data. This is the main BAPI which we are going to use, and it's going to give us. And here W return, you are getting the message that okay, your material got created, right? Your material, the material 356 has been created, right? So this message is misleading, right? Number, no, it's fine. It's okay. The material got created or extended, whatever. It's fine. Come here, handle message end loop. Again, like that, it's going to and handling the message. Inside the handling message, we are just doing what? We are doing the writing the message over here. So just I've just modularized a little bit, and now it is fine. Are you able to understand what I did? Basically, it was a simple requirement, but still you might have, you know, like you might be facing some difficulty to understand. So feel free to let me know, and I will just explain once again. Okay. So thank you, Raj. Thank you. Thank you. So just please let me know if you understood how I did, So it was, so generally this kind of requirement, if you start doing and if you keep on practicing all this design pattern and all, you can use if you have some complex requirement. For example, I'm going to show you today is time over, uh, I will just put the context for the next class. Okay. This is what I have prepared for you. This is one very good example which I have come across my own implementation scenario where we have to create one generic FM. Okay, where we have to come across a generic FM. So what basically the requirement was that they were having the tablet okay, my client was having the tablet, and we were having the production and planning stuff, production and planning module, PP. And those client were using the tablet, and you know that the SAP system is not possible, like, because it's installable in the system in either in the laptop or in PC, and PC it is not possible to have at your working place. In PP, where the plant is there, where the production happens, for people who is working over there, for them it is not possible to carry the laptop or PC, right? So they will have to carry the tablet. They can carry the tablet, or they can carry the Android phone or something like that, right, on their production place, and they will keep on noting down. They will keep on noting down, right? So in their requirement, basically, what was that all the production related, all the PP related functionality, like if they have to create a production order, right, they have to get the here on the tablet itself, they should have some button, and when they will click on the button, they will go and create the purchase order. This is one functionality. They have to change, they have to read the data. For the reading the data, we created this generic FM. This reading the data, the name looks very simple, that reading the data, but in fact it was a very complex thing. How it was the complex thing? In PP, you have, there are so many different types of data, right? You are having the work center related data, you are having the routing related data where you define the sequence of operations, you are having the BOM, right? Then you are having the material requirement planning. So many different types of data will be there in the PP. All those data, these people who is handling the tablet at the production place will required in order to make the decision. Okay, all the different types of data. So let's suppose they require the routing data, they require the production data, they require the work center related data, they require different data. For that, if you create the different RFC, right? We have to create, of course, the RFC because we have to fetch the data from here, right? And PI was there as a middleware. Okay, in that project, PI was there as a middleware. And PI, we are using the RFC function module to fetch the data from the PP. And PI, they will be having some services generating. Infosys was handling this particular stuff. They were creating this backend part, we were handling. Infosys were handling the PI part, and this we are getting used by, you know, uh, this user was using the tablet. But again, at tablet level also, they were having the .NET application. So .NET application was consuming the web services which was there in the PI. Okay, and here we were creating the RFC function module. So the challenge over here was to create a generic function module which will contain the different types of data and send to this tablet, right? Because see, if you'll be having the different RFC function module, different services you will have to create. Do you agree or not? Just write here in the chat box. If you have n number of function module, we will have to create n number of services, right? Here we have to simplify the requirement, right? So if we have to simplify the requirement, single RFC function module need to be created, and in that single RFC function module we have used in order to pass the data to this tablet, right? Now how to have the single function module which will contain all those data? So of course you are going to have the so many parameters in the RFC function module, that is perfectly fine. But backend handling, how you are going to do? Are you going to, you know, means you have to write in such a way that so that you can reuse the code multiple times. Because see, if you every time, you know, every time when you passing the when you are passing the production planning data, your production order must be there. Either you are passing the routing related data, or either you are passing any bomb related data. Everywhere production order must be there, right? So production order, some basic detail, every time must we have to send it. So in constructor, you will push those data which you have to pass every time, correct? That's what the concept of constructor we have seen. At least once it will go and get hit, right? So constructor, we can write those logic which you must to have every time, right? So we have put those part. Then we have created some abstract class. We inherited those abstract class into the concrete class, right? So uh, for bomb, we will be having the separate class. For routing, we were having the separate class, right? And all these different classes, we are giving the different data, and it we are inheriting from the main class, which is always going to give you the basic information, right? So that was a complex requirement that that won't be possible for me to explain everything, but some sort of the requirement I have prepared over here. Here what we are going to do, we are going to create the generic function module, and in that you have to pass the material detail, then you have to pass the plant detail, and then you have to pass the storage location detail, right? So how we are going to design this particular requirement so that a single function module will return all these data based upon your requirement. Is it okay? The requirement, did you understand what actually I'm trying to delete over here? Single function module we will require, and based upon the requirement, we are going to pass the data, right? So how to do this? You also think from your side, okay? And I have already thought on this particular part. If you think something new, something good, something interesting, please feel free to share in the next class. And next class, we are going to together develop this generic interface for fetching the data and populating. in the next class onwards, we are also going to deep dive into the ALV. So we are going to learn all the basic stuff, some of the advanced stuff in ALV also to populate the data, right? And that at the end of the session, next week is going to be our last week. So next week on Friday, we'll be having the questions and answer session. I'll be preparing some of the test also maybe on the final day, and one who is going to perform better, I am having some amazing stuff for you. Okay, so prepare well, keep on revising all those stuffs which you are going through, and you are having all the resources already available in form of videos and PPT, right? Keep on revising, because that last session is going to be very interesting. I'm going to ask many questions. The one who is going to give the more answer, good answer, correct answer, and mostly the concept oriented question will be there. Mostly the theoretical question will be there. And if your theory part, if your concept part in the object oriented programming is clear, then I think you will be able to do very good in this object oriented. Okay. So with this, I'm done for the today's session. If you have any query, any question, feel free to ask. You can unmute yourself and you can ask if you have, or else we can stop it over here.
Yeah, I have a question right now because you have this slide in front.
Yeah, please.
What is the parameter that you would like to do? Is it a range of material numbers at the end that you are going to look for, or one material, or more than that? Because everything is related here to the material itself, where it is in the plant and the storage location.
Yeah, it can be single material or it can be multiple material. Okay, range of material can be also, or it can be single material also.
Yeah, because we can do a join of all of this and just pass one kind of structure at the end, view of the whole thing, and send it all the way based on the material number and the plant, because material should be attached to a plant, I guess.
Right. One material can be extended into multiple plants. Okay.
Yeah.
So
the question is by plant, by material.
Yeah, so depends, like if someone is just willing to have the material detail, we don't want to pass the plant detail. So we can have one basic detail, like one parameter. We can have the three parameter. One is for the material output, another is for plant output, and another is for storage location output. So in function module, we can define that generic function module, right? That is RFC function module. We'll have to create one RFC function module, and in that we can create the three different exporting parameter for material, for plant, and for storage location. And depends on the scenario, how the user is requesting, which data they are requesting. Three import parameter also will be having. One is for I am mat, I am plant, and I am storage location. Three, and we will check user is willing for which type of data. If they are willing for material data, we are just going to pass the material. If they are willing to get the plant data, we are going to pass the material and plant. If they are willing to get the storage location data, only storage location data, then we are going to pass only the storage location data. If they are willing for material and plant both, then we are going to pass material and plant both. So this is the basic requirement. Okay, so how we are going to do the coding? See, we can do the same requirement in a n number of different ways, right? But what can be the better way of using the object oriented programming, so that we have to write the less number of code? Okay, this is the basic agenda over here. The same thing can be done in n different ways. It is not like that the one which I am doing, the one program which I have written it over here, right? You can do in so many n number of ways. This is my way of doing, right? Just I have shown you.
Yeah, I think it's a logical way for that program. I was watching from A to Z, and the one small question maybe at the methodology is, since everything will be on ABAP or on the SAP platform, is there a way that when you design, when you looked at the program in the beginning, and when you come up with which type of event or method that we are going to use and so on, is there a way that we can look to what exists in the library of classes, and then we can
Yeah, you can
select
search.
what is with? Yeah,
See, better to first give a search in the Google, you will find out quickly over there. Or if you're
yeah,
not able to find in Google, whatever, let's for example, for GUI upload, I want to look for a class. So what I will do, my way of searching will be, I will go here and click on this information system, and here you have the description. So here just I will
okay,
search with the upload. Okay. Or I will search with the file upload, and I will see what are the
the classes.
matching, yeah, things we are able to get. So we are getting some of the matching thing over here. So here CX, whatever is starting with the CX, this is your exception class. So this is to handle the
Yes,
exception for your file. Okay. This is the interface. This is
yes,
some custom class people have created. And here CL is serial file upload AUC. You will have to check what is this. So this is one
yeah,
upload assist, assistance class for this upload assist. So we can go and check it out, right? You can also find the documentation if it will be available, right?
yeah,
So different kinds of classes you can get it, but better you
yeah.
search first in the Google, you will get the good idea and faster way. Okay, you will be able to get it. And if you're not able to get, then you can come, and of course from here you can search it anytime. Okay,
Thank you very much. I
welcome.
appreciate your
Yeah,
help and
thank
wish
you.
you good luck. You seems doing better than yesterday. I wish you to continue that way. We don't
Yeah.
like to lose you. We'd like to go until the end and even
Yeah.
for years, you know.
Sure, 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 sure. And here you can see that are the application layer for finance, whatever the class they have for the different, but here it will be difficult for go and search. But here this is more grouped actually, in the more grouped way. If you find for this particular component or data CS, what are the different classes are there. But generally I don't go and search like this. I, if something I required, I first go and check in the Google. If I find out something relevant, this is fine, or directly I will come here information system and give the description, and I will check from that. Okay,
Thank you very much. We appreciate
welcome.
that.
Thanks. Anyone else? Okay, fine then. Thank you so much for attending the session. Tomorrow and after tomorrow we are having the holidays, like we will be on a leave, and again we will be meeting on Monday morning at the same time. Okay, bye
Thank you.
bye. Thank you.